Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Virgo, December 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the sun at our root, which is absolutely brilliant. And we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So if we have Taurus within our natal chart or within our lives, this comes out very strongly at our root. Then we have the Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is, if we have water sign energy within our natal chart, it comes through very powerfully, here in our emotional self. But this can also be a child really having us look at things quite differently and showing us things in a new light. Or there could be just something here that takes us by surprise. I see it as a childlike mentality, a childlike attitude really coming forward and energy within our lives. Then there's the Page of Pentacles. That could also be why it is. We, Virgo, here are represented by the Page of Pentacles, right? We're represented by the Pentacles in the Minor Arcana, by the Hermit in the Major Arcana. And we're here coming through as this student of our ideas, of our prosperity, of the way that we're moving forward. Then we have our emotional self. And this is the Nine of Wands. The Five of Pentacles, which is a poverty mentality, and the Tower. We're holding a lot in our hearts during this time, all right? A lot from the world and everything that it's saying, and everybody's saying at us, not with us, but at us. And there's a sense of feeling like we're in it alone, you know, almost in a sense as if it's always going to be a battle. And so much of being like thrown out of our comfort zone. The Tower doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. What I'm really focused on here is the Five of Pentacles. I'm just going to take a sip of tea. Do bear with me. I have a bit of a cold. So this moves us here in the sense of almost needing to break a pattern that has been with us for just too long. It's almost, it could be a generational thing. It could be like a generational curse, right? Which is just negativity that was spoken over a person who raised us, and they spoke it over us. And it's like we inherit their their dysfunction sort of thing. But this could also be through past lives, like certain blockages that have just been holding us back and holding us back. It moves us to our public arena self. And it's the Ten of Wands. We tend to take on a lot of responsibilities. And the Hermit, which is us coming through in the major arcana. So we're taking on responsibilities, right? But we're letting them go. We're looking at everything that we take on and we're saying, wait a minute, no, I can't carry it all. And it's really important for us to realize that we weren't meant to carry it all. We're going to really feel, Virgo, as if we're in it by ourselves, and either we can handle absolutely everything or we're just a failure. And we have to find a nice middle ground. And I laugh because it's like it's either all or nothing. And Spirit's saying here, no, there's so much more that you're not seeing at this time. So step into yourself. All right, let's look at things astrologically. On the 1st of December, we have Mercury going direct, which means that it comes out of retrograde. So this draws a close to a time of spiritual and psychological transformation, which has brought us into greater contact with our hidden spiritual gifts and kind of why we're here. On the 4th of December, we have Mercury opposite Lilith, which is a frustrating time because it brings miscommunication and misfortune. This is a time where we can feel unseen and unheard, and we need to make sure that we're being honest with ourselves and not doing things just because other people want us to, just because we're letting other people kind of like decide our role in our lives. And that could be something that we find very easy to do during this time, like to let other people define us because we're just carrying around so much. We're feeling things so intensely during this time. Now, also on the 4th of December, we have a solar eclipse and a new moon, which we'll go into in another video. On the 6th of December, we have Mars sextile Pluto. Now, this is a tremendously driven and determined time. It almost makes us feel like we're capable of anything. We can achieve our goals. We want to lead. We don't want to follow. This is going to be a time of actually a lot of frustration because everybody wants to lead. Everybody wants to do their own thing. Nobody wants to collaborate. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to learn. So we have to be mindful of this time, especially since so much of our inner self is about being a learner, is about being a person who's taking on knowledge and wisdom and understanding. We need to embrace the confidence that Mercury sextile Pluto brings, but not all the single-minded focus and everything else can kind of go to blazes mentality. Now, on the 7th of December, we have Mercury squared Neptune. Now, we are ruled by Mercury. So whenever Mercury comes into play, Virgo, we feel this more than on other days. So the 7th of December is going to be an intense day for us. This is a time when walking in the normal world seems almost off-putting. It's like, I'm not meant to be here. I'm meant to be connecting with my dreams or with something, excuse me, something greater, something deeper. This is a time when our imagination is on point. Our imagination is astoundingly powerful. This is a day when communication can just feel jumbled because everybody's so much in their own head. On the 8th of December, we have Mars squared Jupiter. Now, this is going to be a time of a rather positive alignment. We have this beautiful creative energy coming forward. We have enthusiasm, we have strength, we have courage, we have sensuality. We need to make sure that we are staying in alignment with ourselves and our energy, because we can come out of alignment. We can come into the intensity of all the courage and all the strength and just think, just go for it, just jump, just do, just, move forward like this. And if we do this, if we don't have a physical outlet or a creative outlet, we're going to feel ourselves diminishing. We're going to feel as if we have drunk way too many espressos or way too much coffee, and we just have the jitters. We just have the sense of, I need to act, I need to act, I need to act, and not being able to have really a lot of follow through to it. On the 11th of December, we have a couple of things happening. We have Mercury sextile Jupiter, which again, Mercury is going to be very powerful for us because it is our planet. This is a time of questioning and curiosity. We need to be open-minded and non-judgmental. This is also a time of an open-minded and non-judgmental attitude. It has us questioning everything. It has us looking for different areas and different answers and places that we would never think to look, and has us being inspired. This is also a time when we want to travel. Mercury rules short trips. Jupiter rules long trips. So we're going to want to question and to explore. Also on the 11th of December, we have Venus conjunct Pluto, which brings love and karmic love into the forefront of our lives today. We have to be aware of our heart and our heart chakra, as any turmoil or undealt with scars come up and can knock us off our game. So we really need to be aware of our hearts. On the 12th of December, the sun is squared Jupiter. Now, this is a time where we're being told to focus on what we love, on what we want. But wait, 1 minute here, because with the Taurus energy here at our root, the 11th of December with Venus conjunct Pluto is also going to be a very powerful time for us, because the Hierophant Taurus energy is ruled by Venus. So on the 11th of December, we have Mercury sextile Jupiter, excuse me, and we have Venus conjunct Pluto, which are both going to be very powerful and both be vying for our attention. So just be aware of that. Love and emotions and karmic, debt and the heart really come up. And then the questioning and the curiosity and the wanting to travel and see and explore, it can make it for a really rich day for us. Okay, so now let's go back to the 12th of December. The sun is squared Neptune. We are being forced to see ourselves and to call out our weaknesses, to call out what is stopping us, what has held us back, why we aren't fully embracing our voice and moving forward. This is going to be a time where even if we're shaking in our boots, we embrace our voice. We say, I have to say this, I have to see this, I have to discover it. We are astoundingly sensitive and caring today. We have to make sure that that sensitivity and that caring is also interpreted onto ourselves, that we take time for self-care and self-love. The 13th of December has Mercury entering into Capricorn. Now, again, this is going to be powerful because we're ruled by Mercury. This makes us astoundingly methodical in our thinking and the way that we perceive the world. There's almost going to be no time for laughter or joking, which is not going to be good for us, Virgo. We need to have that outlet of laughter, of love, of joy. So we need to make sure that we don't take this Mercury coming into Capricorn just way too seriously. Also, look at your natal chart, see where Capricorn falls, if it falls at all, and see what part of our personality will be coming out more because of this alignment. So here, we have to learn how to listen to our hearts and to step back. We're going to want to be the rulers. We're going to want to be the ones that move forward, that, are solely driven by logic. And what Spirit's saying here is that we need to remember the compassion and the kindness, because that's going to be something that people are just forgetting during this time. Also on the 13th of December, we have Mars entering into Sagittarius, which brings a maddening duality. There's the fun-loving side of this alignment and this extremely overly aggressive side. We want to explore, we want to look, we want to see, and we want to conquer. We want to, burn brightly. And so we have to balance this, or else we will find that we lose our point of view. We lose what it is that we're going after. We need to have a physical and spiritual outlet, or else the fire of this time, the fire of Mars, the fire of Sagittarius will just completely overpower us. And we will feel like we just can't move forward. This is also going to be a time where we can start things really, really well, but we feel like we just can't follow it through. We just don't have the follow through. So be aware of that during this time. On the 14th of December, we have Mars opposite the North Node. Now, this is a time of intensity because Mars needs to be tempered by the conscious piece of the North Node. So the intensity of Mars needs to be tempered by the conscious piece of the North Node. Mars has us looking for action and doing, while the North Node brings to the surface our motivations and what we need to work through our karmic debt and to really embrace our spiritual growth. This can be amazingly powerful and can really help us to balance ourselves if we understand that we are balancing listening and doing, watching and understanding all the dualities. Excuse me. All the dualities are coming forward, and it's becoming a very powerful time for us. It's becoming a time where we see what we want, and we also see what we don't want anymore. So these things are really coming forward. Now, I completely forgot to see the energy that we need to be mindful of. So angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's the Chariot. It's letting our emotions run away from us. This is also Cancer energy. So we just need to be very mindful of this. We're also going to be very attracted to people who let their emotions go first, who let themselves just act and feel and be, but there needs to be some sort of constraint, because we can't have the two extremes, right? We can, and we all know people who are purely logic and people who are purely emotion, but we need to have the balance. And that's what Spirit is really telling us to look for and to move towards during this time. Our chakra energy is angels and spirit guides show me clearly. It's inner strength, which is the solar plexus chakra, and it's the inner child, which is the heart chakra. And that makes perfect sense with everything that's coming up astrologically, everything that's coming up right here. We're breaking out of our shell. Our inner strength is really showing, and it's really guiding us forward. We're also connecting with our inner child. And the best exercise when we have the heart chakra inner child coming forward is to visualize ourselves as the adults we are today, holding our arms open to the children that we were when we were sensitive, when we felt gangly and awkward and as if we didn't fit into this world. And let the child run into our arms and say, I love you. I'm here for you. I will always love you, and I will always be here for you. And there's a sense of us breaking out of a shell we didn't even know we were wrapped in. We didn't even know was defining us. And that's where the sun really gets to shine through during this time, as we're understanding the duality of everything, as we're really starting to see ourselves, and as we're calling ourselves out on our own nonsense. And as, karmically, we're really stepping forward. There's a sense here of beautiful shining light guiding us. There's a sense of beauty and brilliance and intensity leading us forward. Whenever the sun comes in to a reading, we have people taking us by eyes. We have people saying, well, why not me? Why can't I have this beauty, have this intensity, have this light shining within me? And it's like, you can, but you have to do it your own way. Everybody can't walk the same path, be the same person. And so here, with the sun shining forward, we need to embrace our light, our beauty, our intensity. We need to let ourselves shine and not apologize for it. It moves us to the Hierophant. It moves us to this beautiful connection with Taurus energy, with a sense of the traditions of our world and ourselves. This doesn't have to be orthodoxy. This doesn't have to be, anything that we were raised in. This has to be the tradition of who we are, the power of where we're going within our lives, the sense of what we are developing and what we want. This is looking at ourselves and saying, if I stop doing XYZ, will I still be me? And there are certain things that just make us who we are. And if we turn away from it, which we will over time, we will turn away from the essence of ourselves and then find ourselves coming back to who we truly are. And these are times where we realize, wow, I need that. Like, I need that spiritual grounding, or I need that sense of peace, or I need that connection. For me, the Hierophant, when it says connect, it is, for me, connecting with the Virgin Mary. It is just that beautiful connection. When I was 16, I was laying in bed and I thought, I need to do something with my life. I thought, I will give my life to her. And it doesn't have to be something as big as that, though I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. But now, whenever I lose that path, I lose that connection, I feel like I lose a part of me. And then I come back, and I come back to her, and I feel like I found me again. And it can be something just like that. Something that doesn't have a big ritual to it, but is astoundingly sacred to us and who we are and how we define ourselves. And so here, it's finding that sacredness. It could be journaling every day. It could be writing. It could be, caring for people and children and, helping and cooking, or whatever it is. Whatever it is that's making our world richer. That's where we need to align ourselves with it. And we're going to see that there's just this sense of insight and dreams and beauty coming forward. And I see it like this energy of a child, this energy of this like unexpected joy, but also, how children can have these mood swings that you sit there and you look at them and you're like, okay, you might be crazy, but I'm going with it. So we can have this energy coming in where we don't really know how to handle it, how to define it. It's not really going to be quantifiable at this time, but there is going to be a sense of, I need to follow this energy forward. I need to see it. There's going to also be the sense of inspiration coming in, of different ideas guiding us, of different ways of looking at things. And it's going to be like, what if I follow this forward? What if I embrace this? What if I let myself be a student of my emotion, or this emotional discovery, this kind of like almost like Tinkerbell, mischievous energy coming forward that I'm learning how to explore. It's teaching me how to fly. And it brings us to being a student of ourselves. And yes, we can kind of feel like as we're being a student of who we are here, Virgo, we're also turning our back on who we are emotionally. And it can feel that way because the logic of the planting of the seeds and, looking at everything can really kind of move away from the whimsy of the Page of Cups. But what we're also going to be seeing here is that we start to water our intentions. So even though we're planting in one direction, we are watering things forward, and it's all seeping in. It's all coming to a forefront, into a head of being and understanding. And with the Page of Pentacles here, we're becoming a student of what we develop, of what we want, of what we desire within our lives, of the way that we're looking forward, of what we want in the long run, not just in the now. And we're not afraid to ask questions. We're not afraid to sit there and say, well, maybe I want to do something new. This can also be a time where we're being called towards an adventure. And the funny thing is that it's our hearts that's holding us back. That's why we need to embrace this student energy, this energy of this whimsy and this carefree and this sense of discovering the heart and the soul and the passion and the self, because everybody's words are really hitting at us. We can have a headache. We can feel achy during this time. We can just feel overwhelmed, as if putting one foot in front of another is enough. It's enough of a task. And yet we have 18 million different things that we have to do, and 18 million different people that need our attention. With the Nine of Wands, we're learning to say, I stand in my power. I stand in my voice. Everybody gets to live their lives, and I get to live mine. I get to move forward in inspiration and in ideas and in what I want for myself. We're also patting ourselves on the back. Well done for going through the trials and the tribulations, the heartbreaks and the pains that we have been through. But this has left us with a scar, and it's around money, as most scars usually are, around the calling into wealth in our lives, around the acceptance of wealth for ourselves. This could be that we grew up in a household where money was always argued about. This could be that we had a lover that had a very poor relationship with money, or made us feel guilty for anything that we spent. They could spend money, but we could not. With the Five of Pentacles, we're going to be looking at why we feel out in the cold when it comes to wealth, why it feels like I can't come to that warmth, why I can't come to that success. It's the self-sabotaging. It's the chaos. It's the hurt. It's the pain. It's why we get so close and then get knocked back down. And this is really looking at things. But this is also realizing I'm not alone. My angels walk with me. There's something more that I'm developing myself towards. And it leads us to the Tower. It leads us to understanding where the foundation has been shaken from underneath us. The times in our lives where we trusted and we failed. Or we trusted and things fell apart. We trusted and that person didn't come through for us. The Tower comes in. And the Tower has shaken us out of our comfort zone. And what we don't realize in the moments where everything is chaotic, those are the moments where divinity is pushing us out of our comfort zone, pushing us to expand and embrace more of our soul, more of ourselves. We're not talking about here about the truly horrific. What we are talking about is the things that if we just stayed in the small safety of the world that we knew, we would never see that there was a world outside around us. We would never see that there was more. And sometimes divinity has the harshest way of teaching us lessons, of treating us as we're finding our path, as we're moving forward. And the ways that we are pushed out of our comfort zone can make us have anxiety around money. We could have lost it all. As somebody who has once lost it all, it's not a fun thing. You know, it's not a fun thing to sit there and think that the dollar meal at McDonald's is expensive. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. And so here we're looking at the traumas and the dramas that we have been through. We're looking at maybe 15 years of this or better. For some of us, it's going to be 10. For others of us, it's going to be 5. It could be 10 weeks, 10 months. You know, it doesn't really matter. What it is that we've experienced trauma. We've experienced heartbreak and pain and disappointment. And now we're seeing all the responsibilities that we've put on ourselves in the public arena. Because it's either I have to do everything because I can't possibly fall again, or I can't possibly let everything fall. But in trying to pile everything on, trying to do everything ourselves, we're breaking. Spirit's saying, let some things go. We can't do everything for everyone. Because what it does is it turns us to only seeing the dirt on our shoes and the mud beneath our feet. It takes us for seeing the expanse of the sky, the beauty of the world around us. And that's what we need. We need to be inspired again. And that's what we're finding, that inspiration. We need to give other people their own burdens. They have to put on their big boy pants and move forward. And it's not being mean. It's not being condescending. Well, maybe put on your big boy pants is condescending. But it is really saying, I can't carry everything and I can't carry everyone. And so I need to embrace what I desire and what I want from my world. It's upholding our responsibilities. I'm a firm believer in our responsibilities. We can't just turn our backs on things. But I'm also a firm believer that we can't be crushed by the weight of those responsibilities, because it will rob our lives of all its joy, all its beauty, and every single reason why we're here. The Ten of Wands is telling us to find our sun again. And our sun is at our root. Our sun is just longing to shine forward, to have the happiness and the joy be a part of us. And we're going to think, I can't possibly. I can't possibly embrace this happiness, embrace this power that is me. Because remember when it's fallen apart. Yes, things fall apart. That's what life is about. It gets messy, it gets complicated, it gets weird at times. But it's also beautiful. And we're coming to a completion of a cycle. When it comes to our work, when it comes to our passion, when it comes to knowing what we want, and it leads us into the wisdom of ourselves. It leads us into the hermit. We see ourselves openly and honestly. We see ourselves truthfully. We are turning into who we are. We're embracing the very essence of our being. And as we do this, we are being empowered. We are being emboldened. We are starting to embrace strength in a way that we never knew it before. Virgo, we're stepping into who we were born to be and how we were born to live. And this is empowering, and this is also terrifying, because what if I mess it up? But what if we succeed? And what if we shine above all others? This is a time where we feel ourselves, embracing the wisdom of divinity, stepping out of our comfort zone, and seeing so much more of the world than we ever have before. The walls come falling down. The barriers that we have built around ourselves or that we have had to overcome in this life, we start to see through them. We start to guide ourselves forward, and divinity starts to guide us. It leads us to the subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the secrets. It's the secrets that we keep from ourselves. It's the secrets that others keep from us. It's understanding that not everybody's going to tell us the truth during this time. And maybe it's not okay, but it's something that we have to come to the realization of. We cannot take everybody at face value. It leads us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is clarity, the third eye. That's why we can see things so clearly. Our third eye is opening. Our third eye is guiding us. Things become much more clear because we see and honor ourselves. We see and honor our path. It moves us to the subconscious rooted energy, which is the devil, Capricorn energy. This is a sense of facing our demons, facing our addictions, facing our fears. Now, these could be the addictions that we know are bad. Drugs, alcohol, overabundance of food and sex, everything like that. Then we can sit there and say, okay, I can see how that's tearing things apart. But these are also going to be the addictions that people praise us for. The addiction of eating so cleanly that it starts to give us anxiety. That we have to plan our meals so far out in advance that it just takes up all our thoughts, all ourselves. This is the addiction of working out. And everybody's saying, oh my gosh, you look so great. I could never be so diligent as you are. And yet, this is where our whole worth comes from. The devil comes and it takes away our joy. It brings us anxiety. It brings us fear. Excuse me. And these can be the things that we're addicted to. The anxiety, the leaving things to the last minute, the feeling completely overwhelmed. And now we face it. We face the stresses of the world. We face the stresses of ourselves. And we see ourselves openly, honestly, and intensely. We're walking away from the chains of other people's existence, and we're walking into the power of ours. We will accumulate our own chains as we go, and we'll have to face the devil and our demons once again. But for right now, we're starting to see ourselves, and we're starting to break free. It brings us to our subconscious inner self. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is our angels untangling the mess that we make. This is everything changing. We have the repeat of the number 10 here in this reading now. Just like we have the repeat of being a student. And so we're learning and we're developing, but we're coming to a conclusion of a cycle. We're finding ourselves entering into a new dawn, and we can feel as if we're on a roller coaster ride, as if things are absolutely crazy. We have the highs, the lows, the lefts, the rights. Sometimes we won't know where to stand, or how to stand, or how to move us forward. The Wheel of Fortune comes, and it changes everything. Our angels untangle things that have been so deeply knotted within us, we didn't even know they were tangled anymore. It's having us feel things so much more intensely. It's having us come to profound realizations. It's having us look at things in a new light and in a new way. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Page of Pentacles. That's us again. Through all this chaos and all this turmoil, we become the student of our prosperity. We say, no, but I want to. We wrap ourselves in the root chakra of who we are and the roots of ourselves. We look at our dreams, but we look forward to our future. And we say, where do I want to stand? What do I desire from my life? Who do I want to be? And how do I want to be it? And that becomes the game changer. Through all the turmoil on the surface that we feel, subconsciously, we're learning from it, we're understanding it, and we're focusing. From this chaos comes profound laser focus. And we're starting to see things in a way that we hadn't before. And we're letting ourselves have permission to question and to dream and to build and to become. And it moves us to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Ace of Pentacles. That's God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift just for us, of prosperity, of abundance, of new beginnings and new intentions. We take this gift in ways that we don't even realize because of the Page of Pentacles, because of the Page of Pentacles in our subconscious. We take this gift, but it's not going to be as powerful as if we had that Page of Pentacles in the public arena self. And so this gift brings us forward. We find luck is on our side. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. And we see ourselves moving, and we see ourselves dreaming, and we see ourselves seeing things so much more openly, so much more honestly than before. All of a sudden, we're looking at where we want to be. And as we see it, we start to look at our dreams, what we desire, what we want, and really just open up that door. This is a time where we're planting the seeds, where we're looking at what is possible. And we're not saying, oh, I can't, but we're really starting to think, hell yeah, like I definitely can do this. I definitely can be this. Ideas are going to start to come to us, to do things, to move places, to look at things, to look at jobs, to look at, creative outlets that we never would have thought of before. Don't poo-poo them just because they're outside of our comfort zone. Just don't do that to yourself, Virgo. Take a little booklet, take a little notepad in our phones, write down these ideas, jot them down, look at them later on and say, do I want to, don't I want to, but see how they come forward. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the sheer intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.